Hey people, Zarthwomp here and welcome to episode 53, I believe, of Danganronpa 2. Last time we were going on with the trial, discovering more secrets. We discovered what the ultimate weapon was, which was apparently the building itself. Nekomaru was hung upside down, the clocks were tampered with as I predicted, and let's get a move on, okay? Everything's recording, everything's good. I always get afraid when I'm recording these trials. She's right, that's the main problem. I need to clarify by how much time was off. That's definitely the next issue. I'm going to reach the truth in one go. Fuyuhiko's account will probably be very important to this. Fuyuhiko's account. Okay, the alarm clock tower. Just want to check. Okay. Okay, it's set to 7:30. Okay, it's off by 2 hours. Fuyuhiko's account.
Then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m.
Actually, wait, no. There'd be a Kane's account.
In our time.
Are there any clues that can be used to If only I heard the sound when he fell. It would have been a great clue.
Or his scream.
He's not the type to let out a scream.
If only Nekomaru's alarm was loud enough, we would have heard it too.
There's no point in saying that. If does not exist in this world.
By how much did the killer...
If the time in the building was... Then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m.
Okay, it's not that.
If the time in the building... Then we can only rely on
The time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m.
The problem is, what time would 7 in our time?
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow that down? If only I heard the sound when he fell.
Boom!
I agree with that.
We always consent with Miss Sonia. I knew it was something like that. We were going to use a Kane's account.
That's right. We should have heard the sound he made when he fell. Wasn't it that rumbling noise?
Rumbling? I thought it was just an earthquake, so I went back to sleep. Was that the sound from when Nekomaru fell?
Well, a huge body fell from the 4th floor to the 1st, and the pillar fell with it. It's obvious we'd hear the impact sound.
We heard that noise too.
It was when we were gathered at the Strawberry House Lounge.
Except Nagito.
What is it, Sonia?
Oh, well. That sound everyone heard? I did not hear it at all.
Huh?
You probably didn't hear it because you were sleeping.
I could not sleep at all. I was awake the whole night with hunger pangs.
There's nothing to worry about. What's important is that rumbling noise anyway.
If we use that rumbling sound as a reference, we might be able to figure out how much our time was off.
I heard that sound probably around 5:30 in the morning. Huh? You can tell? I instantly woke up and left my room. And that's when I saw the clock in the lounge. Excellent work, Akane!
That rolling sound we heard at 5:30, it's like was off is literally right in front of us. 2 hours.
I see!
I can do basic math. I may not be able to go conference.
7:30. And if we heard the sound of his impact at 5:30...
I mean, I may not be able to go conference, but I can do basic
That means
math.
our time was off by 2 hours.
2 hours? That much?
We were starving pretty badly. There's no way we would have noticed.
Plus, the funhouse has no windows. And there weren't any Monokuma announcements either.
However, for what reason did the killer alter our perception of time?
The reason is obvious. So they can lure out just Nekomaru.
Right, only
If you
Nekomaru.
messed with the clocks and used a specific thing, you definitely get Nekomaru to the tower alone, right? From there, the killer's plan was a splendid success. That's all it means.
Besides messing with the kind, the killer could also use a specific thing. If they were trying to lure out is the clock's alarm. Oh, Monica was Tai Chi. Sorry. Monica was Tai Chi. What the? I thought it meant his alarm.
I see!
I am a dunce.
That's it. The killer made use of the Monokuma Tai Chi activity in the morning.
I was trying to say something like that. His alarm was set, so he wouldn't have needed to look at the clock.
How did they use it?
We were required to go to Grape Tower every morning at 7 a.m. for that activity, right? But if they mess with all the clocks inside the building, what would that do to us?
We wouldn't be able to attend on time, but that wouldn't affect Nekomaru. His radio clock had the exact time.
That's right. In doing so, the killer was able to lure him to the tower by himself at the precise time.
Then, when I witnessed Nekomaru early in the morning...
If I recall, you witnessed Nekomaru around 5 a.m., and if that time was also 2 hours off, it should have been 7 a.m. At that time, he was heading over to Monokuma Tai Chi, right on schedule.
I see. Now that I think about it, I realize what Monokuma meant when he said those words.
Too early! He didn't even ask you yet!
Yeah, I knew he was off. The clocks were tampered. Jeez, how outrageous! I honestly didn't expect everyone to ditch Monokuma Tai Chi! It was so beautiful! I was gonna have you do like the swan dance, and you were gonna do like namaste, you're gonna go on 1 foot, and you're gonna be like a crane, you'll be like a flamingo! I'm gonna make you flamingos! And this is how you were paying me! But it turned out like this after all, so I guess it can't be helped.
When you said everyone, you were including us, right? We thought we came to the tower on time, but in truth, it was way past the meeting time.
Aw, jeez! That's, well, how should I put it? What was it? You know, tripping over a foot, or something like that. Are you talking about tripping over someone else's fault? Wrong! Too bad! Liar! I'm right! That's not it! It's incorrect! That's definitely the correct answer. You always get so stubborn like this.
Let's just ignore the peanut gallery. Now that we've found out how the killer lured Nekomaru, the number of suspects has drastically decreased.
Huh?
Hey, why would that decrease the number of suspects? Don't be a friggin' liar!
You'll know I'm not lying when you listen to what Fuyuhiko's going to say next.
Huh? What the hell do you mean?
Well, did anyone else come out? And also, not to mention all the guys
You
were there.
witnessed Nekomaru going toward the tower. Did something else happen after that?
Are you talking about that alarm?
Alarm?
A little while after I witnessed Nekomaru, the clock in the Strawberry House lounge started going off. Plus, it was just before that rumbling sound occurred. That's it. So that's what it is. If Nekomaru died when the rumble happened, then whoever doesn't have an alibi at the time is the prime suspect.
Really? Was there anyone who didn't have an alibi at that time?
I remember now. The sound was so loud I couldn't help bolting from my room. But there was one guy who never left the lounge. We were both on the same floor. It's pretty weird that bastard never came out of his guest room.
Which means that person does not have an alibi for when Nekomaru fell?
Nagito?
Who's the
I
bastard?
don't think Nagito did it. I mean, he saw the dead room afterwards. It's whoever does have an alibi for that time, right? I don't think... Not who. Sodium?
Crap!
But she said that she didn't hear it. Oh, it's probably going to be the Nagito. I knew it was either her or Nagito.
You're the only one! The one who wasn't there. It's you, right, Nagito?
But Nagito, he didn't even know about this until he didn't know about that until the very end, like until he went to the file dead room the first time, which was during the investigation.
That's right. Nagito wasn't there. It was just me, Gundam, and Fuyuhiko.
You didn't come out, even though the alarm was going off like crazy. You weren't in your room, were you?
Yeah, but Sonya didn't hear the sound as well.
If that's the case, where were you?
Please, say something!
If you don't hurry up and answer, I'm gonna suicide dive you!
If I may be frank, even if I wanted to go to the lounge, I couldn't.
You couldn't? What do you mean?
It's merely the foolish talk of the weak.
Not only did I not hear the alarm, I never even heard that rumbling sound.
That's what I was saying. Nagito never heard the rumbling sound, so Sonya's just as suspicious as he is. He couldn't.
You're definitely fucking lying.
However, that is also true for me.
Hence why I chose you first, because we were with Nagito when he first discovered the secret of the building.
It is obvious that I did not hear the alarm in Strawberry House. But I did not hear the rumbling sound either. Is that not strange? I mean, everyone else heard it.
To be honest, it's not just them. The same goes for me too.
Huh?
I was in a pretty deep sleep, so I thought that's why I couldn't hear it, but it wasn't that. I probably couldn't hear it at all.
Couldn't hear it? What does that mean?
You still don't know. Think about what the three of us who didn't hear a sound have in common, and I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Nagito and Akane had crummy rooms, but Sonya had deluxe room. The only people who didn't hear the rumble were Nagito, Sonya, and Chiaki. Are we gonna say crummy room? Crummy. Yep. Ah! Deluxe? Ah, yeah, it's deluxe. Deluxe. Okay, where's the X? Ah! There's an E at the end of the deluxe. I know this. I paid attention. Aha! Ah! Room. Ah! Where's the S? Where's the S? Yes! Deluxe rooms!
I got it!
Okay! I'm actually on a roll! Deluxe rooms! They had deluxe rooms.
Nagito, Sonya, and Chiaki. The three of you were staying in deluxe rooms,
Because the
right?
deluxe rooms are soundproofed!
If I recall, the deluxe rooms are...
Soundproof!
The guest rooms are divided by quality grade. The deluxe room is soundproof and has excellent air insulation. The standard room may have so-so insulation, but it's still pretty decent. And the crummy room has several airflow and draft problems.
The reason we could not hear the rumbling noise...
That's right. It was because the deluxe rooms have superior sound insulation. You actually noticed that. Nice catch, Hajime. Are you using your ultimate reserve course student talent?
Hajime, if you jump over that podium and punch him in the jaw, I will clap.
Now then, you guys must understand by now, right? The true identity of Nekomaru's killer.
Hold on a sec! Why does that lead to who the killer is?
Why? Well, that fact just now is a very important clue, and a decisive factor in identifying the killer.
Decisive factor?
Come on, I feel like I understand what Nagito means. The killer is among us. The killer who murdered Nekomaru can't be Hajime, can't be Kazuichi, can't be Sonya, can't be Chiaki, can't be Nagito, can't be Fuyuhiko, can't be Akane, can't be Gundam. What the? Think it. Akane?
Crap!
I don't know. I honestly don't know who the killer is. I don't think that Hajime did it. Gundam?
You're the only
Gundam?
Gundam, there's something I want to ask you. When the alarm rang at the Strawberry House Lounge, you rushed over there too.
That's why I was a little suspicious too.
What's wrong with that? If the bell of catastrophe rings throughout the night, it is the universe's providence to stop it.
Why were you able to hear it?
Hear what?
I mean, you were also staying in a deluxe room, right?
Oh, I forgot that he was staying in. They should have like a list of who's staying in the deluxe rooms.
Nagito was staying in a deluxe room in the same house on the same floor, and he couldn't even hear it.
I thought he had a crummy room for a moment.
Why were you able to hear that alarm?
Now that you mention it...
Alright, not Kazuichi hat. I got them mixed up. I didn't know. I couldn't think of who had the crummy rooms. With the other deluxe. I got Kazuichi at the other deluxe. I don't know.
Gundam?
There's only one possibility. You weren't in your room at the time. That's why, even though you were staying in a deluxe room, you still went to the lounge. Am I right?
Gundam, you have some sort of explanation, right?
Gundam probably couldn't return to his room because of Fuyuhiko.
Me?
Fuyuhiko was in the lounge.
After you saw Nekomaru heading to the tower, you stayed at the lounge for a while. Am I correct? Until the moment that alarm started ringing, right? If you were in the lounge for that long, the killer who had left earlier obviously wouldn't be able to go back.
Even though Nekomaru's murder was a death trap that utilized the alarm in his chest, the killer still needed to prepare the murder in advance.
Like putting Nekomaru in sleep mode and tying him up with the wire.
Oh my gosh, are they gonna have it where we're gonna have the panic attack be with Gundam and then the clue be 4 dark divas?
In order to do that, the killer needed to be waiting for Nekomaru at the tower. Which means when Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru, the killer was already at the tower.
And once they tried to go back, they couldn't because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge.
In their original plan, the killer should have returned to their room before the alarm in the lounge went off. And they were supposed to stay in their room. They weren't planning to come out and go to the lounge.
Which means they wouldn't have heard the alarm or the rumbling sound, thus proving they were in the room.
Just like us.
The best case scenario would have been if those two in the lounge had gone to check the deluxe rooms. After all, if they personally saw the killer sleeping in their room, it gives the killer a stronger alibi. Unfortunately, they failed to secure that alibi.
Because I was in the lounge.
Fuyuhiko saves the day!
So the killer couldn't go back to their room, and ended up hearing the lounge's alarm.
Hey, what are you doing? That Roxas is louder than the supreme ruler of the netherworld bellowing for a sacrifice. Don't go make all that noise so suddenly.
But why'd you come out? You should have hid till the excitement died down.
If Gundam tried to hide, and if those two went to his room to check on him, he would have been found out. That would have been the worst possible outcome. That's why he couldn't just stay hidden.
If those two had just checked the deluxe rooms as planned, that would have been ideal, but how ironic. The moment Fuyuhiko set foot in the lounge, your plan was doomed.
Gundam? Please, can you at least say something?
Answer me this. Including myself and my 4 dark devas of destruction, how many ears do we possess?
You possess 8. Huh? 10.
The answer is 10.
Sorry.
That's right. I possess 10 ears. That means I have 5 times the hearing of a normal human. The soundproof system here may as well not exist.
Is that your argument?
You bastard! Do you understand the situation you're in right now?
Do not panic. The truth shall now commence.
Gundam.
At the time, I left my room to go to the bathroom. By coincidence, I heard the alarm. That's right. That's all it was. The world is always so simple.
Are you saying it was just a coincidence? Isn't that timing a little too perfect?
And yet, I'm being suspected by all of you. It seems it was actually horrible timing on my part.
I see. You're still holding out. Well, you don't have to admit it. We're going to decide who the killer is with the majority vote anyway.
We don't have a comic yet, and we don't have the panic
why
attack.
don't we just go ahead and start voting? It's obvious that Gundam is the killer.
There's more.
Hold on a sec.
You know, Hajime, this class trial, this killing, it's merely the opening act, you know.
Hey! What do you mean the class trial is just the opening act?
Perhaps I should say, it's just a farce. Just a boring farce. So boring, so stressful. I'm so painfully bored that I might develop stomach ulcers. Seriously. Let's just hurry up and finish this before I collapse from poor health.
Where are you hiding?
Nagito, something definitely happened to you, didn't it? At some point during the investigation, your behavior became even weirder. What actually happened? Did you discover something?
Well, let's just leave that fun for later. And finish this opening act already.
You said opening act again!
Please hold on! We have yet to hear Gundam's rebuttal!
But he's completely shut up. Perhaps he can't argue anymore.
Gundam!
I was simply at a loss for words after being dumbfounded by your pathetic assumption. In fact, I shall deny the very basis. Your assumption has been wrong since the beginning.
Since the beginning?
Based on your assumption, I hung Nekomaru from the 4th floor of the tower and made the floor descend to the 1st floor. From there, after returning to Strawberry House, I was present when the alarm at the lounge went off, correct? Although going to and fro is busy enough as it is, how would I be able to travel between
That's
both
why
houses
I
anyway?
why I was suspicious. Because of the elevator.
I see. The contact elevator was broken.
As I recall, the killer tampered with the Grape House control panel, which shut down the elevator. Plus, the stopped elevator should have been facing the Grape House side. If so, the human who used the elevator would have left it at Grape House. For these reasons, it's an indisputable fact that the killer destroyed the elevator at Grape House.
And what's wrong with that?
If the elevator was broken at
How would
Grape
he be able
House,
to-
you wouldn't
yeah,
be able to
exactly.
return to Strawberry House.
However, I was already at Strawberry House. I was present when the alarm in the lounge started ringing, which means your assumption is clearly wrong.
Are you serious? And here I thought it's already been decided.
Have you learned your lesson, pitiful humans? You cannot overcome this contradiction.
That's wrong. When something is obviously wrong, that's when a contradiction is born. There's no such thing as a contradiction that can't be overcome. What, you use the Dark Devas of Destruction? Good night button, Buhiga's account, wall clock, contact elevator, clocks, alarm timer, radio clock, broken doorknob.
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses. As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House,
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Okay. Okay, I'm trying to find it.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
How much longer do you plan to lecture me? Why don't we stop this already?
Oh! Secret passage! We're gonna put Nagito's account.
That elevator was
Good night.
the only means of travel between the two houses.
What are we going to say? What is it? What is it? Nagito's sudden appearance.
As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
Oh, it's supposed to be
But the killer
accomplished
cannot
and then
return to
they take the
Strawberry
secret
House.
passage.
Since I was at Strawberry House, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Oh, right, we can't scan that.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
It's probably going to be, we're going to
How
put
much
Nagito
longer
into
do you
this.
plan to... Why don't we stop this already?
A contradiction with
That elevator, the only means of travel between the two houses. As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption
Plus,
Oh.
the elevator broken at Grape
secret
House.
The
passage.
killer
Darn
cannot
it.
Since I was at there's
I know
no
it is.
question that...
I know the answer. I know the answer.
There was a
How much longer? Why don't we stop this already?
Okay, okay. It's going to be that first one when it's the only way of
That
travel.
elevator was the only means of travel between...
Boom, secret passage.
No, that's wrong!
Ah, I'm getting this.
No, there should have been another way to move between the two houses without the elevator.
Such a method does not exist!
Then why don't we ask the person who actually used that method?
Nagito. This one I actually know.
You're the only one! Nagito, you should know.
What are you talking about?
Don't play dumb. You appeared so suddenly that one time because you used that method, right?
Nagito, why are you here? Because I showed up.
There's a secret passage connecting the first floor of Strawberry House to the third floor of Grape House. Isn't that right?
Jeez. Once again, I let the reserve course show up. But you're right. There's a door on the floor of the Octagon, which is on the first floor of Strawberry House. After I opened the door and went down, surprise, surprise! I ended up in the Monokuma Archive, which is on the third floor of Grape House.
Meaning, the third floor and the fourth floor are actually connected.
Plus, once you've cleared the final dead room once, you can pass through it as many times as you want.
If they used that secret passage, they could have gone between the two houses as much as they wanted.
Infinity Unlimited Flame!
Infinity Unlimited Flame.
However, what if the killer was unaware of the existence of the final dead room?
There's no way they didn't know.
That is merely an illusion you have fabricated from your own suspicion. If you value your life, you should stop with your scrutiny.
There's no way I can stop.
What did you say? Don't make me angry! You wouldn't like me when I'm angry!
I don't know. I'm confused right now. Rebuttal showdown. Wire. Good night button. Tripped over pillar. Pillar fragments. Clock alarm time. Wheel clock. Broken doorknob.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
I think I can advance.
I already proved a secret passage exists. The secret passage was at the Octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light!
What? What even are you saying? You like me trying to prove evidence is like...
Know the limits of your own reasoning!
The key that dwells in the light. Wait.
You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light! Know the... You say the killer went to the octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to at least pray to the key which dwells in the light!
Okay.
Damn it!
Okay, I was trying to...
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail, I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Okay, good thing I actually did buy
I
that.
already proved a secret passage exists. The secret passage was at the octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer went to the octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to at least pray to the key which dwells in the light!
I'm trying to say that! I'm trying to do it!
Know the limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer went to the octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion.
Ah.
Crap!
Okay.
Know the limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer went to the octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light! Know the limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer went to the octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion.
Crap!
Okay.
Know the limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer went to the octagon?
Wire!
Don't bark, you cur!
It's the wire, isn't it?
If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom...
Okay, it was the wire!
Through those words.
I was trying to say that it was because of the door, because they knew how to do right their setup.
The wire used to string up Nekomaru's body, the hammer that looked like the weapon, and the chain on the door in the tower.
I am a derp.
Those are all the items that weren't in Funhouse. Where did the killer obtain them?
The only place I can think of is the octagon. There were various weapons and tools there. I'm pretty sure I saw stuff like wires, hammers, and chains too.
Since those items were used in the crime, there's no doubt that the killer went to the octagon.
If that's the case, they obviously know about the secret passage too, right?
Kind of.
It seems this is the end. Normally we'd end up listening to Hajime lecture us with a very long summary of the case.
Last cases wasn't that
But
long.
there's no reason to waste any more time on this opening act. So I'm going to end this right now.
Hey, what are you...
First of all, by messing with the
What?
clocks in the building, Gundam tried to lure only Nekomaru.
Oh my god,
the elevator was
contact that
probably
comic.
broken by that point.
I
Thanks
gave her
to
the
that,
A button.
Nekomaru wasn't able to go to Grape Tower, which was supposed to be the meetup point. So he tried going over to Strawberry Tower, just like we did when we found out the elevator was broken. Well, it's obvious he'd attempt that. At that time, we didn't know the two towers were the exact same place. Also, the button in Strawberry Hall wasn't broken, so he was easily able to enter Strawberry Tower. But surprise! Gundam was waiting for Nekomaru's arrival.
Hold on. If Nekomaru didn't go to Strawberry Tower, what would the killer have done then?
Their plan was a balancing act of uncertainties, but even if they failed, they probably wouldn't have minded. They can just greet everyone the next morning as if nothing happened, and come up with a different plan.
And without such a risky plan, they wouldn't have been able to lure him at all.
I'm going to continue summarizing the case, okay? Through this, Gundam successfully lured Nekomaru to Strawberry Tower. There's no way he could fight head-on with the robotic Nekomaru. So by pressing the goodnight button, he rendered Nekomaru powerless without fighting him.
Hold on! You... What did you just say? That I didn't battle?
What's wrong with that?
Don't mess with me! Don't mess with me! I cannot ignore those words!
Why are you angry all of a sudden?
You fools do not understand! You don't understand at all! Ha! You make me laugh! After all this time, you still don't understand anything at all!
I don't understand anything. What does that mean?
It appears I cannot finish just yet. Maybe I'm just a human destined for hell. However, I cannot finish just yet. I cannot finish!
What do you intend to do?
Oh my gosh, if Gundam really is the murderer, I'm sad.
It's obvious! I'm going to destroy your illusory assumptions!
Are you saying you still have more? You still have room to argue?
Your words. You said I pressed Nekomaru's goodnight
Four
button.
Dark Divas of Destruction.
However,
Dark
that
Divas of
button
Destruction.
was on the back of Nekomaru's neck. To press
Hamsters,
it, I
Dark
have
Divas
to
of
get
Destruction.
behind him.
It's not easy to get the drop on Coach Nekomaru.
It's even more difficult if it's a one-on-one situation.
Or 1-on-5.
Just as I thought. Truly frail. Succumbing so easily
Dark
to
Divas.
this simple argument.
Dark Divas. Dark Divas.
If you want to set me up as the killer, at least surpass your own
Dark
human
Divas of
limitations.
Destruction.
That's wrong, Gundam. You're the one who's wrong.
Such a wonderful line. However, I cannot say that I'm satisfied.
Okay, everything's still good?
Listen well. I shall teach you 2 tips for making someone admit their defeat. First, you must crush them with your own overwhelming power. And as for the other, you must provide a reason that will persuade that human. You have not fulfilled either of those yet.
How about I do both at the same time with this panic attack? I guess you really don't want to admit it. Then, just as you requested, I will prove an argument that will leave no choice but to be destroyed, or we'll crush you with our overwhelming power. With panic talk action.
I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crush as David prophesized! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither!
The Tanaka Empire!
Crush as David prophesized!
Yes, the pet store above the Arby's!
Show me the cadaver! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crush as David prophesized! I won't let you! For the Tanaka
I'm
Empire!
winning! I'm winning! Yes, your empire!
Crushed as David prophesized! For the Tanaka Empire! I won't let you! It's Nekomaru's back!
Four
Do you really
Dark
think I can get behind him
Divas.
so easily?
No, it's the 4 Dark Divas! The 4 Dark Divas! I didn't even know!
This pressure.
Don't
Show me the cadaver! Amen! You weakling! It's Nekomaru's
The
back! Do you really
four
think I can
Dark
get behind him
Divas.
so easily? This is the end!
The 4 Dark Divas! I guess I just didn't see the dog! I didn't think they were going to do the 4 Dark
Even if
Divas.
you didn't get behind Nekomaru, you should have been able to press the button on the back of his neck.
The 4 Dark Divas of
As long
Destruction.
as you had the power of the hamsters you keep with you.
Are you seriously saying he used his hamsters to press the button on the back of Nekomaru's neck?
Don't underestimate the power of the 4 Dark Divas of
Of
Destruction.
course that'd be impossible for a normal hamster, but it would have been possible for Gundams. In fact, we saw that with our very own eyes, right?
Emissary of evil, in accordance with our ancient contract, the time has come to lend me your aid. Pierce through, Supernova Silver Fox Sandy! Ah, it pressed the button. Truly, this is the Skyline Lamentation Art of the Demon Mouse. Soon the door of destiny shall open.
Now that you mention it, after Ibuki was killed in the music venue, one of Gundam's hamsters retrieved the piece of wallpaper from the baton lighting, right? Hey, with your friends and their exceptionally smart brains, it must have been possible to secretly get one of them behind Nekomaru and press the button on the back of his neck.
How about it, Gundam?
Not just myself, but you actually brought up how splendid my subordinates are. I have no recourse but to admit it.
Admit it? Did you say you admit it?
It appears I've obtained a one-way ticket to hell. Fine! Then you must trample me underfoot and advance. Victory can only be built upon a foundation of corpses. You cannot find peace without sacrifice anywhere. Now, trample this life. Trample it as though it were mere trash on the side of the road. Pull the curtain strings of this worthless performance with your own 2 hands.
Comic time! Closing argument, start. Stock 1. Who set the alarm clocks? Okay, alarm clock set. Okay. Who's in the laundry this morning? Fuyuhiko. What time did Fuyuhiko? Nope, that's not gonna be it. The Dark Divas. I just love how they have just before Dark Divas. His power. Look at that face! It's like some demon! But like a Gundam does profess himself to be a demon. What the time was run? There's a huge hammer. Okay, no, that's not gonna be it. Okay. Answers and murder. Sorry. The wires wrapped around Nekomaru's feet. I was just doing something. The killer destroyed what after leaving the tower? Okay. They put the hammer down. Okay, good. Look at that face, though. Okay. The pillar was destroyed. Kiss the pillar, damn it. Okay. Who got out of the lounge? Everyone. The hall. Okay. The doorknob came off. He woke up. Okay. We're dealing with that. I don't know. Think of it one more time. Who got out of the line? Everyone else. Oh! Stock 3. Okay, they're probably tying him up. No, that's not it. Oh, we're gonna bring Fuyuhiko back in the lounge. I kinda like this better than everyone else. Fuyuhiko can't sleep. Okay, good, good. We're doing that. We're dealing with that. What time did Fuyuhiko see Nekomaru? Okay. The 4 dark devas of destruction. The wire was wrapped around. Okay. Messing with the clock. Okay, good. Last stop. Last stop. Okay, we're doing well. We're doing well. Now there's gonna be one more. One more set. The wire was wrapped around Nekomaru's feet and the doorknob. And finally, 5:30 in the strawberry clock. Yeah!
Here's everything that happened in this case. Let's first go over the many tricks the killer prepared before they committed the crime. First, they destroyed the contact elevator. This separated Nagito and the others in Strawberry House from our group in Grape House. Next, they lured Nekomaru out by himself by turning back all the clocks in the funhouse by 2 hours. Additionally, in order to secure an alibi, the killer went to the Strawberry House lounge.
Surprisingly, this case was a lot easier than the
set
others.
the wall clock's alarm to 5:30 a.m.
But I'll still probably get a B out of it, considering how strict this game
After
is
finishing
grading.
their preparations, the killer went to Strawberry Tower with the necessary
But
tools
I
in hand.
didn't have to retry
They
case.
obtained these tools from the Octagon, which you can enter once you clear the final dead room. This means the killer discovered the secret of the funhouse faster than anybody else.
Glad to know that Gundam was able to pose seductively with a hammer, a chain, and some string. What the heck is going through your mind, Hajime?
That secret being, Strawberry House and Grape House are actually the same building. On the morning of the incident, Nekomaru woke up and headed over to Grape Tower for a specific reason. There, Fuyuhiko, who was at the lounge by coincidence, witnessed Nekomaru. According to Fuyuhiko's testimony, that was around 5 a.m., but by that point, the killer had already messed with our perception of time. In actuality, Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru at 7 a.m. That's also the same time Monokuma Taichi begins. Nekomaru went to Grape Tower to participate in that. However, because the contact elevator was broken, Nekomaru was unable to go to Grape Tower. So he decided to try going to Strawberry Tower.
The four dark divas of destruction.
But the killer was waiting for him there.
Just look how he's doing it. It looks like we have an anime.
With the power of hamsters, they were able to press the good night button on the back of Nekomaru's neck.
I never thought in all my years I'd have to hear that sentence. I never hear that sentence.
This forced him to enter sleep mode, rendering him immobile. From there, the killer began preparing to use the ultimate weapon. First, they set the alarm in Nekomaru's chest to 7:30 a.m. so he'd wake up. Then they tied him up with a metal wire, tied the tip of the wire into a loop, and hung it on the doorknob. After leaving Strawberry Tower, the killer then destroyed the door button to Strawberry Hall. They did this to keep us from entering Strawberry Tower, and to keep us from discovering the secret of the building structure that they used to kill Nekomaru. Then, they used the secret octagon passageway to travel to Grape House. After arriving at Grape Hall, they pressed the button to open the door to the tower. When that happened, the elevator-like floor of the tower began descending, and Nekomaru's body was still inside, dangling upside down in midair from the wire. The killer entered Grape Tower to see if their setup was successful, and placed a hammer on the floor to look like the weapon, then wrapped a chain around the back door. This was done to make us falsely believe we couldn't enter the tower from Strawberry Hall. With this, the killer finished their setup and tried to go back to their room using the secret passage, so they could craft their alibi when Nekomaru died from the fall. But something unexpected happened. Fuyuhiko, who saw Nekomaru earlier, was still at the lounge. As a result, the killer couldn't return to their room, and with no options available, time ran out. The lounge's wall clock alarm started ringing at 5:30. Well, actually 7:30. To avoid a worst-case scenario, the killer was forced to appear in front of Fuyuhiko with the others.
Oh my, what is wrong with Kazuichi's face in that frame? Look, he looks like Gollum!
When the wall clock's alarm rang, that was also the same time Nekomaru was waking up. He woke up while he was still hanging upside down, so he couldn't help but sway his body powerfully. Originally, the loop of wire was only supposed to slip off the doorknob, but because there was a heavier load than expected, the doorknob ended up breaking. Nekomaru fell from the 4th floor all the way to the 1st floor. He crashed into the pillar, which decapitated him on impact, and died. The sound of Nekomaru's impact echoed throughout the funhouse.
My precious clock for Miss Sonia!
However, by this point, the killer's plan was about to fail, thanks to the broken doorknob and Fuyuhiko. Meaning, the killer is someone who wouldn't have heard the alarm if they were in the deluxe room. They also wouldn't have been able to return to their guest room, because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge. That someone is Gundam Tanaka. I can't think of anyone else but you.
What the? Why is Gundam look so flamboyant in that one? They could just went
Splendid.
really. They could went all out on that, make it epic with flames and fire and comets as a fire, some solar flare arc. But no, they had to make Gundam look flamboyant.
That was splendid. For a mere human, you did quite well.
Okay, moment of truth. Let's see how I did.
Stop it already. Stop using weird words to avoid the truth. Or I'll friggin' kill you myself!
I cannot believe it. I just cannot believe. You killed Nekomaru?
Yeah, all that love you're showing to him, you could be giving it to Kazuichi, the guy who doesn't kill Pete robots.
I cannot believe something like that!
You don't wish to forgive me? Do you feel regret? Then finish it! Cast your impure votes for Gundam Tanaka! My beloved, deadly foes, let the voting time begin!
Let's see. How did I do? How high is my B rank? B! Of course the B! Oh, if you notice anything off about my coin total, that's because I went in the main menu and used the vending machine to actually buy all the key items, so that way I can show them in cutscenes after the playthrough's done. I swear, but why? Time A. I got an A on that part! But yet, for some reason I got a B. What the heck? What did I do so wrong? I mean, there was that one part I was struggling a little, but for the most part I think I did pretty well.
This result isn't all that exciting. Now then, please pull the lever in front of you and cast your vote. Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Please pull the lever! Crap! I bit my tongue at the most important part!
Monokuma vote. Who is guilty? Northwolf and his B rankings. Hey, I didn't fail any times. I mean, really, that's good. I didn't fail for once. And I wasn't doing any parts that took like 12 minutes. Ugh. Alright.
It's been bad if I bit my tongue again, so I'll speak slowly. Judging from the results, you guys are correct once again, doing 4 in a row without any mistakes is a splendid achievement. That's right, the one who killed the robotic Nekomaru in the amazing funhouse was Gundam Tanaka!
Nice!
Yeah, I said it without biting my tongue!
Now then.
Now that we decided with the killers, let's do the execution of A and B over. Hold on. It should have the class officers, but that doesn't mean the incident's over. We can't finish it until we heard from Gundam!
Jeez.
No matter what you say, it won't change a thing. Well, we have no right to stop you, so do whatever you like.
Fall.
Why do you want me? Why do you want to talk to the one who is lost? You're right, we're not going to talk to you in this episode, we're going to talk to you in the next one. Anyways, I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer, and I hope you come back for the next one. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever that you want, and without, I'll see you later. Bye!